DFS Show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We are looking at the 7-game Wednesday main slate over on DraftKings. It starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So once again, we have a 7:30 start for a slate this week, and that runs through the 8 p.m. hour. So, James, rosters start at 7:30, and the late night hammer starts at 8. 7 games gone off in a half an hour, so we'll know what the lineups hopefully look like here by the time slates lock around for this one.
You just absolutely love to see it, John. I got nothing else for you. That's just things you love to see.
Yeah, not this 4-hour long difference where you're waiting on the 10 p.m. for the 7 p.m. lock, and you got to figure out with your late swaps. Like you still do, but you'll have much more time to react to all the news there.
It's fun. Like, I think both are fun. Like, obviously, it's fun in both instances, but it is also nice to not have to do that every night.
Right. Good to not have to wait up till 9:30 for the Denver Nuggets lineup to come out,
Yes, not that we're not. Because
we are. We're in the Discord with you guys. So.
Especially, like, if there's a sweat going on, despite, like, wanting to go to bed, you just don't go to bed. Like, you can't. So,
Yeah, the people who go to sleep and then, like, wake up to money, I would love to be
crazy.
That.
Crazy.
I can't. I would never be able to be that. I have to watch and see see what happens. Like, imagine the other day you're sleeping through your Draymond Green stat correction. You would just wake up assuming you won. You wouldn't have any of the feelings of, like, I'm in second, and then the excitement of, I'm in first again. Like, you would have missed all of it.
Spamming your message,
yeah,
John.
Yeah, you would have missed all. You would have missed all that if you went to sleep. And people do that. People wake up and they're like, "Yeah, banked the tournament last night. Didn't even know. Had slept peacefully." Couldn't be me.
Cool.
Could never be me. All right. Top price plays on the slate: SGA 11.4, Tatum 10.7, Harden 10.2, Trae Young 10K. Harden on a back-to-back here. Not that he has missed any back-to-backs this season, but just shouting. Maybe
Kawhi will.
Kawhi will not play. Right. Boston and OKC are playing in this one. Kristaps Porzingis apparently has, like, an actual illness. He tweeted out that he's got some sort of viral illness that they don't even know what it is, and he's just kind of working himself through it. So that's not great.
Okay.
Tatum should be good to go here. I would imagine, though, Horford's good to go here. I know they're listed.
No J-Dub and no J-Dub on the other side of that game.
Right. So I would imagine Boston would be full strength here after sitting their guys the other night. SGA, again, is your top price overall play, 11.4. Much better first game against Denver than the second game against Denver. Nothing to take away from him, but just not what we saw the first leg there. Against Boston in that first matchup earlier this season, went for 67 fantasy points. Again, they get up for this matchup. Boston's going to get up for this matchup. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Is it going to be a fun game for fantasy, though, James?
So I guess it just depends. In that second game, John, they trapped SGA, like, basically when he had, like, we've seen this from a couple teams, right? Denver getting Jokic doubled every time down. SGA, they lose Jalen Williams, and they trap SGA over half court every time. He's 14 shots. You don't ever see SGA have 14 shots. I bet you, without looking, it's one hand how many times you can count that SGA took 14 shots in a game this year. Not looking. I'd almost guarantee that there's, like, one hand where he's taken less shots than 14. And that was due strictly to them double teaming the way that they did. So, does Boston do that? They typically don't. Boston is, I switch everything. Drew Holiday ends up on your opposing center and is, like, the strongest point guard in the world and can guard your center. So, like, that's not typically what Boston does. That's good for SGA because he's the best isolation player in the NBA. So I don't have a problem going SGA here. This is arguably the best game of the year. And there's no Jalen Williams. Like, flatly, I wouldn't care if SGA was playing the Monstars here, which is essentially what Boston is in the NBA. If there's no Jalen Williams, I will play SGA.
The Celtics giving 4.5, 231.5 game total here. 231.5. We got a couple of games on the main slate. Utah, Memphis, 242.5. Memphis giving 12.5. Dallas, San Antonio, 237.5. Spurs giving 5.5. Those are two totals that are higher. Charlotte, Atlanta's also 231.5. You have Trae Young here at 10K. Coming off 51 again, 3 straight games over 50 fantasy points. Thoughts here on this matchup with Ball versus Trae?
Yeah, the only thing is he didn't play last game, so we'll see about that. Obviously, the quad injury is a new one because he's been listed with the Achilles this whole time. So quad injury aside, it's obviously a great spot. Trae has a ceiling. Rinse and repeat what we say about Trae Young just over and over again, right? He has a very high ceiling. I know, Jay, we didn't really talk Harden. I will say, if there is no Kawhi Leonard, I think I know it's a terrible spot, but like where the Clippers are in the playoffs, right? They are like out of the play-in, or they're in the play-in tournament right now, and they've been basically out of that all year. Harden's going to play 40 plus minutes. Period. Yeah. That's what they're doing. They're playing these guys 40 minutes. So I know it's a tough spot, but if it's James Harden and friends, and like it's like Harden, Zubats and friends, I would consider him a pretty good tournament play.
Yeah, I guess he's probably safe here, right? But the Harden strip club thing, Miami, like that's a
fair. I didn't really.
Second night
really think about it, but
second leg road back to back, coming out of New Orleans. I don't know. He's almost got a double right now.
Didn't necessarily think about that point, John. But you know what? Even though you have brain fog, John. You're the light bulb's on up there.
I'm powering through the flu game right here, but. If you guys don't know the James Harden strip club thing, just Google it. There's a whole Reddit post basically like historical data pointing cities with like high densities of strip clubs and like James Harden's performances. It's like drastically bad.
Known club goer. AI?
Known club goer James Harden.
Was that done before AI? Like that person?
Oh yeah,
that person charted without AI.
Yeah, that dude. Well, what he did is he searched like the highest density of strip clubs to like major cities, and then figured out what Harden's like career games were in those cities, and they were pretty bad. All right, LaMelo's $9,600. Bounced back slightly after that Cleveland game in Miami himself. 36 minutes, shot poorly, 5 of 21, 2 of 12 from 3, but still finished with 40 fantasy points because he doubled. If he was to hit his shots, would have had a bigger night. Atlanta. Going to be dealing with Dyson Daniels, obviously, but, Ball's a guy that's going to take 20 shots in this game, assuming he is suiting up.
He is going to. He has clearly played second fiddle to Miles Bridges, who had another insane game, but yeah, I'm good with LaMelo. I probably put LaMelo below Ja Morant, truthfully, like in this next tier.
We asked this the other day, Bane versus Ja. We're going to basically have the same question again here, Bane versus Ja. Now Ja up to $9,300, so price finally getting back to what we would expect Ja Morant to be priced at. But Utah, what does Utah have available? Do we already have guys out for them?
They're all questionable.
Nothing on Sexton yet. Sexton looks good to go. And then everybody else is questionable. So
and Collins, who played 34 minutes out of the shoot,
and Walker Kessler, no injury status. So we could have do we dare think that we're gonna have a fully healthy Utah team here? No way, right? No way.
No way.
Yeah, no way.
No way.
But Bane's 83 and Ja's now 93. So there is $1,000 difference between the two.
Yeah, I mean, look, I said it the other day. The numbers look good for both. They look better for Ja when there's no Jaren Jackson Jr. And if they're going to keep running and spamming the pick and roll stuff with Ja, he's just going to score on Utah at will. He's going to score on there's no Jaren Jackson, already no Santi Aldama. I mean, it's just they're going to do it again. They're going to spam pick and roll, and Ja's just going to play make out of it. And I'm perfectly fine getting to Desmond Bain. John Morant's just on a different level. Apparently, the shoulder's fine.
Sure. I don't know if you saw the NBA Central today tweeted Devin Booker, Detroit potential favorited landing spot for Booker if he was to get traded, in that Phoenix could command 4 first-round draft picks for Devin Booker. I guess if you're Detroit, you're giving like Ivy in first-round picks to get Devin Booker to play with Cade?
You do that every day of the week.
Every day, right?
Yeah.
I'd agree with you. Would you play him against Houston at 92, Fox 89? Obviously, Morant's $100 more expensive, so could just easily play that instead.
Yeah, no, probably no on either front. I got to say the thing that pops out the most to me here is Quentin Grimes' price. Yeah. $7,600, and I understand it. I am aware of it. I think we saw no Oubre, we saw no Maxey, and they ran Grimes into the ground. And it's something that we had talked about, right? Like, we weren't sure who was going to be the ones getting limited and stuff.
He said Grimes, though. He mentioned Grimes in that tweet.
No, wasn't it Yabusele and Oubre?
And Grimes.
Well,
all 3 were in there, and then Grimes played 27 minutes on that front end.
And then
played 39 minutes on the back leg because they had nobody else to play.
Well, Oubre's questionable and Maxey's out. Yeah. So if Oubre sits, we're just like, hey, Toronto here. Like,
it's so risky, right? Because you don't know.
So risky. Yeah, it's so risky. If we get clarity on the minutes, then I'm good on Quentin Grimes. If there's no Trey and Karis LeVert, Dyson Daniels ceiling game, by the way, the other day.
Yeah.
25, 9, 6, and 2 steals. Dude, God, I love this team. Man, I can't wait for Jalen Johnson to be back next year. But Dyson Daniels, if both those guys are out again, can do the Derek White stuff, even though Tatum's going to play. You can always do the Derek White stuff as like a play. Stephon Castle was really good again in a good 7 again.
Yeah,
30 minutes.
Right, perfect.
Got 30 minutes. There's like rumblings that De'Aaron Fox is not healthy, like little whispers that De'Aaron Fox is not healthy and might get shut down eventually. So if that just like happens, Stephon Castle's gonna be like, obviously, like the most cheap he's ever, like the price tag is just not reflective of the player.
Yeah. What is going on with Toronto? Quickly's out. Barnes is questionable.
Barrett's out.
And Barrett's out. So they could be completely stripped here.
No Mobo, no Walter, no Grady Dick, no Quickly, Barrett, Ingram, Jameson Battle questionable, Agbaji questionable.
So is this a Shed Lawson play?
Yes. Okay. They're gonna potentially have 8 guys. Pirtle, Shed, Robinson, Lawson, Castleton, Jared Roden, Boucher, Temple. Those are the only guys not on the injury report, which is 8.
If we get Brandon Williams active for this game, as you kind of rightfully suggested he wasn't going to play the last game, would you run that one back at 4,500?
I would. Now, there are some interesting things going on. PJ Washington's also upgraded to questionable for this game. So Dallas, we've been playing Dallas basically because they were so shorthanded. And they could be up to like 10 guys. So we will see. But if Brandon Williams is in and starting, I definitely have some interest there.
Okay. Anybody else? Point guard? Butler, I guess, the Philly guys?
Philly guys again. Dinwiddie broke the slate the other day. If no Brandon Williams again, he played 37 minutes and had 28, 7, and 6. So
finally made his shots,
Made his shots. So I don't hate that. Holiday 47. We probably see Case and Wallace start. But are you going to play Case and Wallace over like Butler, Shed?
Right.
No. Scottie Pippen, another 27 minutes. Memphis again is like all these injury players. I think Kennard is off the injury report, so it's probably unlikely that we see the minutes look like that for Scottie Pippen, but he's been really good. So if we get the minutes from Pippen, I think it's fine. If no Trae Young, Keaton Wallace started and played 30 minutes. Yeah. I think you probably need Trae Young and Karis LeVert out for the Keaton Wallace stuff, because you could probably play Karis LeVert on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So Keaton Wallace is 39. Philly gave Jeff Doughton 28 minutes. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for Philly, it can, because they could just play Doughton. They played Doughton more minutes than they played Butler. Even though they started Butler, they played Doughton the minutes.
Yeah, the more minutes, yeah.
So, that's something we have to monitor. Do we have the Bradley Beal status? Bradley Beal's not on the injured report. Okay, so we don't have to worry about Tyus.
Yeah. All right, shooting guard. Booker Fox, you talked about. Jaylen Brown, their hero. Go to Bane. Yeah, Bane obviously led way to the big game from Ja there, $8,300. Did you mention Jalen Green by chance?
I did not.
I do like Jalen Green here.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix is quite bad defensively.
Yeah, and if there's no Van Fleet or something like that, I think this is a really good. Jalen Green started at point guard in this game, had 7 rebounds, 8 assists. So
Van Vliet expected to play in this game.
Okay. Doesn't really change too much for Jalen Green. It's just now the primary scorer.
Right.
I'm good there at $7,200. Clay 64.
He's been good, dude. He's been good.
36 minutes.
Dude, the points. I mean, 25 plus or 26 actual in 3 of his last 4. If they're just going to be shorthanded, then
he's gonna launch.
I kind
of 33 minutes from Sexton there.
Isn't that crazy? It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, nobody.
I know, but it's just the league just needs to step in and find them so many dollars for this crap.
Christie played 58. LeVert's fine. Where else would you play here?
All right. Lonnie Walker, 43, played 30 minutes. The price is obviously not as appealing, but it is there.
It's still well within reason.
It's well within reason. AJ Lawson played 33 minutes again. They're basically down
everybody. Will he hit 7 threes again?
Well, I said it when we talked about it. I mean, I can't hate the plays. He just missed shots, right? He took 24 shots over a 2-game span. He took 16 threes. He just didn't make any. And then when he's not on a main slate, he makes all the shots. So, I'm good with Lawson at 4K. I don't think it's a priority, but if they're just down to 8 or 9 guys, then I think it's a play. Damian Baugh is coming off the DMP. I forgot they DMP'd him last game. I think he's a 2A.
Yeah.
Roden? Yeah, Roden started. I mean, if
he starts again, I mean, the minutes have been there the last 3 games.
No, for sure. For sure. If he starts again, I'm definitely in.
Right. Small forward position. Kevin Durant's $9,800. Kawhi's gonna be out for this one. So, do we give Bogdan more of a look if Kawhi sits here?
Yes, for sure.
He's down in the 5K range. Look at all this orange and red, man. This whole position's injured. Najee 75. If PJ Washington's back, though, is that difficult to get to?
Probably. Yeah. It's harder. He squeaked out the 39 to the 30 or the 34 fantasy points, really scratched and clawed to get there.
The cell's questionable, huh?
The cell is questionable. That's interesting. If he doesn't play.
Penny, Keldon.
Keldon was great last game. Castle, even more reason to play Stephon Castle too.
You got a slate breaker out of Keldon there.
We love it. We are the most pro Keldon Johnson podcast in all.
He's a good player.
He's a good.
doesn't get all the playing time all the time. So
You know what he does when Victor Wembanyama's not there? They love playing Keldon Johnson. I never understood that correlation, but I feel like that's been the correlation like this whole time.
But even then, the minutes go a little like 20, 30, 24, 24, 29, 30, 19, 27,
Sure.
23, 25. If you could just like promise me 25 to 28,
Yeah,
like
sure.
I'd play him every night.
It's true.
So he's there. Dude, this one is painful for me. I had Riche in my lineup like 8 different ways on this slate, and then I just kept on like pulling him out because I had like too much money left over.
Yeah.
And he went nutty. Obviously, Atlanta's expected to have everybody back, but if say Trey and LeVert sit again, like I would play Riche in a heartbeat here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Good spot against Charlotte. The minutes obviously were super secure without those guys.
And the shots, right?
And the shots, yeah. I mean, anytime he's been extended, I feel like he's usually been someone who gets up shots. So, yeah, I like that call, John, for sure. If Brandon Clark and Edie are out again, I would play Gigi. I played him. I pivoted to Gigi when he was starting the other night.
Would this go to Vince Williams though?
Oh yeah, Vince is playing. Yeah, I think
Vince
back.
is gonna play,
yeah,
right?
I forgot. Second leg of back-to-back, he's back. Yeah. Yeah, Vince Williams.
Vince at 38 should start. Look pretty good here.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, Champagny could get some extra run if Vassell's out. Could start if Vassell's out. Wouldn't shock me if that happened.
Yeah, he could for sure.
Anything else? What do you like? Council? Council played 29 minutes in that game.
It's Rick. Yeah, Ricky Council, and he's a good fantasy. You and I have been. It's not just us, but we've been talking about how good of a fantasy player he is when he's extended. It's
again just like figuring out when the extensions are 5, 2, 1, 1, 4 for minutes played, and then in between all these games, then he finally goes off. But I agree.
It's interesting that he played the 29. It's interesting that Dowden played the 28, and Edwards played 20. He started, and Butler played 24, and he started. And you look like Edwards didn't play basically until the 1 minute mark in the fourth, and Jared Butler checked in for like the final 20 seconds, and like Ricky Council played the whole second half. Dude.
It could legit just be a hot hand thing, like if Edwards was slow and they're like, all right, you're out, next guy's in, right? Like,
I mean that the chart is crazy because like it just doesn't make sense. Yabusele played 28 minutes.
He left that game too.
And he left with an injury. And we were told he wasn't going to play that, and now he's playing 28. Like, it's just Philly is just going to be an absolute abomination for the rest.
Oubre is going to be active and play 38 minutes, and not one person is going to play him because they just don't think he's going to.
And he scores 50 actual.
Yeah, something like that's going to go down. All right, power forward. You have Tatum here against the Thunder at 10-7. Again, if you want to spend up for Tatum, you can. That's fine. Same thing, Durant, Bam. Okay, you mentioned Bridges though. Bridges has been really good. Still under $9,000. Great matchup for him against Atlanta. A lot of reasons to be clicking this button on this slate.
Why is he this good? Where did I'm not saying he hasn't been this good before.
I said he's kind of always been a really good player.
Yeah, I'm just saying he
just missed a lot of time due to off the court stuff.
I know, but this is better than he's ever been. This stretch.
Volume's certainly been there for him. Knocking down threes. It helps not having Brandon Miller, right?
That's true.
He's one of two instead of one of three.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I'll buy some.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hard not to there. You'll have Chet at 8K. Looks like him and is gonna be good to go. Right, playing 30 minutes. I guess you have to deal with Tatum or Horford. ISO Al. They said, I don't know if you told me the stat or I heard it.
I messaged you the isolation stat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I messaged you the
isolations stat. Since they started recording isolations in a single game.
Since they started tracking isolations, Al Horford defended the most in a game and was the #1 rated player ever in the isolation era. And I think the official stats came out where Luka and LeBron were 2 of 15 against him. Just those two specifically.
Yeah. So good on that. Good on Al Horford there. Yeah, I definitely heard that also on the radio the next day, but I remember you messaging me something similar. Yeah, since they started tracking isolation stats, no player's ever been faced with more ISOs than Al in that game, and he gobbled up 2 Hall of Fame players in Luka and LeBron. So such
just insane, dude.
For a
Just
39-year-old. So, Chat, good luck. Bit ado. 8K for you if you want to get there. Does PJ Washington get limited here? Like, as if not, I mean, he has a huge ceiling in this matchup.
I mean, there's definitely a chance he gets limited because he came back and then immediately said like, yeah, I came back too quick. Probably shouldn't have done that. And then his ankle was bad again. So,
it's been 10 days.
It's been 10 days off a second ankle injury, right? I guess let's listen to what Jason Kidd has to say about it. Like, 'cause I feel like we usually know, right? Because he's been
because look at he missed 13 games and immediately played 37.
And then said, probably should have done that. My ankle's not great. So like if he's gonna play full allotment, then yes.
Right?
100%. I mean, he's cheaper than Najee Marshall. He's a better play than Najee Marshall.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if there's no limit, I have no doubt I'm going there.
I'd also just play John Collins here.
Yeah, I mean
30 shot attempts.
That's the best game on the board, right? 242 total, 13-point spread. To be fair, I said it to you on the stream. Boston rolls those guys out, and Utah just has a couple guys active. We can't just sit here and say it's going to be a blowout. And Utah kept it close.
Utah wins that game if Sam Hauser doesn't knock down 7 threes in the third quarter.
Utah wins that game if Sam Hauser doesn't become
Steph Curry,
Klay Thompson, Kyle Korver all combined into one player.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, dude, John Collins, 6,600. You know, I mean, what was it? I usually get the DraftKings Sportsbook sends you like yearly like summaries of like your plays. I think I sent this to you. My most bet on player last year was John Collins.
Yeah, he did.
Just crushed his rebound props over and over and over again.
Well, that was in your heyday of live betting because you would always live bet the John
I'm probably
Collins.
like the most profitable live better that forgets that you can live bet. So,
I'm not gonna let you forget that the Boston accent just came out right there.
Almost I could buy you.
I'm not gonna let you forget that one. Don't worry.
Whatever, kid.
Dude, yeah, whatever. Yeah, John Collins, by the way, took 30 shots. Welcome back, John. You missed 2 weeks. Here's 34 minutes and 30 shot attempts, dude.
Dude.
I'm telling you right now, if I see a string of tweets that say Keontae George out, Larry Markkinen out, I am going right to this man.
Jordan Clarkson out, just like play.
I am clicking this button so fast tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, he's such a good player. Just begging to be traded, never gets traded. Tyree Eason, 33 minutes for him. Didn't have a great game, but the minutes are great. He should continue to be in the. Well, I guess we don't know, right? Because Van Vliet's gonna be back for this one.
Yeah, Van Vliet back. So someone
comes out of the lineup here.
Yeah, Jabari is. I mean, they were. I don't know because they had Jabari starting. He got hurt. He came back. He was off the bench, and he's like filled in. He played better than Tari the other day. So do they go back to the Tar? I don't know. But whoever starts is in a good spot. Right?
It's a good spot for Eason, like you said. So
yeah, convert. It's a good spot for Jabari for cheaper if Jabari were to start over Eason.
Yeah, I agree. Is Aaron Wiggins the Jalen Williams fill-in?
I think they probably go Kaysen, but they could go Wiggins first. But because you don't need size, they're double bigging. So I think it's probably between Wiggins or Kaysen Wallace would be my guess.
Where else are we going?
Gershon 5K, Kelvin 46. We talked Riche. Dylan Brooks took 21 shots. I mean, dude, I don't know who Dylan Brooks thinks he is, but it's fine if he's going to keep doing that and his price is going to keep going down. I would play Dylan Brooks at 44 if he's going to play the minutes that he played and the shots that he's been getting up. I mean,
Yeah, I
sure,
wonder if he
dude.
shoots that much if there's Van Vliet back. But
An actual point guard, like orchestrating the offense.
because now Jalen Green isn't the point guard, right? He's the
yeah, that's true.
You mentioned Kessler Edwards broke the slate. I guess if everybody's out again for Dallas, you'd venture to go here again.
Yeah, I mean, if Dallas, we'd have the same conversation again, right? If Dallas has 8 players, we'd play Dallas again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Anything else? They started Muhammad Gay.
He's been fine. The minutes have actually definitely ticked up for him. So if you want to play Muhammad Gay, that's fine. Memphis gave, I don't know if Lamar Stevens' contract runs out, but if his 10-day is still active in this game, and like Clark and if Clark and Zach Edey sit, I would be okay with some Lamar Stevens, but it's like just as like a punt.
Okay. Center Şengün's 97 against Phoenix.
I don't understand the Şengün price and why it's like skying to like an atmosphere that we've never seen, but
yeah.
Someone explain the algorithm to me so I can understand it.
I got nothing for you. You were in on Zubac the other night. They're playing right now. Williams 74. Any interest there?
Yes, to both the last 2 people you mentioned. Ivica Zubac for sure. He's smashing. He ended up being like 55% owned. He's smashing. And if there's no Kawhi, James Harden and Zubac pick and roll the entire night. So love Zubac and love Mark Williams in tournaments.
Walker Kessler would be also back in play.
Walker Kessler definitely back in play. Oni definitely back in play. I actually put this in the playbook. Oni is not great without Trae Young. And it's the same thing for like when you look at Miles Turner. Miles Turner is not really good without Tyrese Halliburton. Some of these centers don't, especially like guys like Miles Turner, pick and pop. Oni, pick and roll, always around the rim. When their primary point guards are not passing them the ball, they are not as effective. So it would be worth mentioning. I probably would be a little trepidatious going to Onyeka Okongwu if Trae Young doesn't play.
Okay.
We just saw the production fall off without a traditional point guard there.
Jakob Poeltl back.
Jakob Poeltl is back. He was really, really good. The problem is they're just going to play him this. They're just going to play him there. We just know what they're going to like. Yeah. Toronto's good.
But the price is at least coming, or I guess it was coming down. It's a fair price, I guess, for sort of where he's at.
Yeah.
Okay, Khalil Ware. If Utah ends up getting all ruled out like in the middle of the afternoon, Filipowski would obviously jump right back to the top of our charts here. What else do you think here? Nick Richards started. He actually was pretty good in 20 minutes, but
yeah, they start him and just don't play him.
Yeah,
it's really infuriating. Cornette played 30 minutes. I guess like if Al didn't play, that would be what Al's expected to.
Yeah.
Talked to Kessler.
What was the Huff situation?
No and no Clark.
No Clark.
So let's just whoever plays.
Yeah.
If one of them start, they have Utah. I would play any of them. Dude, Jay Huff is just going to stand at 3-point line. Chuck, really good fantasy point per minute guy. Brandon Clark, really good fantasy point per minute guy. Edey also profiles that way. He just doesn't get to play. So whoever the center is there, you just play.
Okay.
I like if one is out. Now there's also Marvin Bagley there for the record. If like 2 of them are out and it's like Huff and Bagley, you could also make a case like maybe I'll play some Marvin Bagley tonight. Marvin Bagley's min salary, he played 23 minutes. Him and Huff straight up split the 48 minutes at center. So if you got like Bagley Huff 48-minute run, I would legit think about playing a 3K Marvin Bagley.
Okay. I don't hate it. I mean, mid price, always been a good fantasy point per minute guy.
22 minutes.
I can get there. All right, let's get a lineup built then. Where do we start things here?
Can I play Nikola Jokic on this slate?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You're
Unfortunate.
You're biggie here, so
Then I don't know what to do.
I know where we're starting, I guess. We're gonna start with John Collins.
Okay. We start with John Collins.
And then you liked Ja, so that's fine. We'll go Ja. Where were we? Lonnie Walker.
Oh, dude, Toronto. Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto. Have to get Toronto. Shed. Jamal Shed, 4,400. Roden is cheaper than Lawson, 3,300, and he started last game.
We're on guard spots now, though, so we got only forwards.
Also, it's at 8 o'clock, so we don't have to worry about here. Ja will move into our like util or something just to save ours. Oh no, it doesn't even matter. 7:30 and 8. I don't even care.
Let's see. Was there? We didn't really want to do this game, so was there another value forward we wanted? Oh, Vince Williams, right? Vince Williams.
But there's no centers to spend up on.
Yeah, I was to say we have so much money. Well, this is good. Pick your center, and then we can spend money elsewhere.
Pick our center. I mean, you could also move John Collins to center to make this easier.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because then we can go to power forward and like pick a better pool.
Tatum, Durant.
Bridges.
Yeah, Bridges, right. That's 3,300. We probably don't need.
Go up from Clay. That's exactly what I was thinking too. And then you could do.
Let's go like Vince here, maybe.
It's unfortunate because guard is probably the position we'd want to spend up to. You could also not play Vince because he's going to only play like 23 minutes and probably find someone else that's going to play more.
67.50. Back to Clay.
Back to Clay. I was going to say right back to Clay.
Yep. It's like get off of Roden, I guess.
I would probably stay on Roden. I like the Roden.
We just play. Like all of our guards are used. So we have a $7,100 forward or center.
Would you want to do
Conco? Just do Collins at forward and Conco at center?
Yeah, I mean,
we'll wait and see the Trey thing. Obviously.
Yeah, I would like to know the Trey status, but we'll go into the slate assuming Trey is playing.
All right, so we'll say assuming Trey plays, we have Morant, Walker, Thompson, Bridges, Okongwu, Shed, Collins, and Roden as an example lineup for everybody here. Again, 7:30 roster lock. We will have the show live at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Myself and James Grande. Grande will on your playbook. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you guys think of this 7-game main slate. Until then, everybody, we'll talk to you later.